Hello, welcome to this tutorial on how to configure a digital performer in order to use the Octogris plugin. This tutorial assumes that you are fluent with digital performer, and we will quickly go through the functions that will allow you to use the plugin in order to specialize your sounds in various different formats. We're going to open digital performer. Here we have an empty session. The first thing that you need to do in order to use the Octogris plugin is configure the sound card. We're going to go in the setup menu, configure audio system, and we're going to click the option configure hardware driver. A window pops up, and here you have the list of all the devices you could use. I've selected the Motu Ultralight because it has a sufficient number of outputs to specialize my sound on an 8-channel system. I click OK once I've selected the right device. The second thing you need to do is configure the bundles. The bundles are defining the software outputs of Digital Performer. So we're going to go in Studio, Bundles, and there's another window that pops up. Notice that there are many tabs at the top of the window. Make sure you are on the Outputs tab. We're going to create a new bundle by clicking the Add button, and we're going to change the format of that bundle to 7.1. We use the 7.1 format in order to specialize on an 8-channel software. 7 plus 1 makes 8, obviously. What it allows us to do is have access to 8 different channels. Okay, and we're going to actually move the assignments so that the output starts with main out 1 and main out 2. Okay, once my bundle has been defined, I can close my window. Now we're going to create a stereo track. Okay, I emphasize on the stereo because I want to specialize a stereo sound onto an 8-channel. In order to do that, I go in Project, Add Track, and I create a stereo audio track. Okay, for the moment, my track has no input and its output is set to main out 1 and 2, which means a stereo track is sent to the first 2 outputs of my system. I want to change this to select my 7.1 bundle I've recently created. You can also change those parameters in the mixing board view at the bottom of a track here. Next thing we'll want to do is load Octogris on an insert. I will look for it. I'll search for it. Okay, an interesting thing happens here. There are 2 versions of the plugin that can be selected. Okay, so a stereo version of the plugin will mean I have 2 sources that are specialized on 2 speakers. That's not what we want. We want 2 sources that are specialized on my 8-channel system. So when it comes to selecting the right plugin, I have to choose the stereo plugin that converts it into a 7.1. And automatically, Octogris loads as a 2 sources, 8 output system. Once Octogris is loaded on the track, there's another very important step that needs to be accomplished. Next to the panner is a little button that opens up the panner view. If I click on it, this window opens. You got to make sure that you bring the gain of the LFE up because we're going to use the LFE channel as an independent channel. Now that that's done, you're ready to specialize stereo sounds onto an 8-channel system. Let's repeat the whole process, but this time for a quad system. I won't have to configure the sound card, but I still need to create a quad bundle. I go in Studio, Bundles, and I will create a new bundle. This time I will choose a quad format, and I will move my tracks to the proper outputs. It could be, for instance, this. Now I'm going to create a quad track that I want to specialize on a quad system. So in projects, I create a new track that is surround quad. This track, it's already on a quad output. Okay, next thing is load Octogris. And see, there's a quad Octogris, which means you have a quad source going into a quad speaker system. That's how you configure Octogris in order to specialize on multiple speaker systems. Thank you for watching. Follow us on YouTube to find out more about the Octogris plugin.